I'm noticing that the more that we meet like this, the more easily we fall into sync with each other. So you may notice as you settle into your seat and as you let your eyelids fall, that you can attune to the group and to the intention why we come here on Wednesdays to sit in stillness together, to come into the now, which is all we actually have, and which is a portal into our liberation. So thank you for being here, and I welcome all of you. And also take a moment to welcome all of yourself, meaning your body just as it is. There's always going to be a combination of pleasant and unpleasant sensations. Welcoming your mind just as it is. Sometimes it takes time to settle. Welcoming whatever feelings and emotion have bravely shown up into our consciousness to be given the light of our awareness. And welcome to your divine core that longs for this liberation, for this expression, for this sanity, that longs to contribute to peace and benevolence on our planet. And so there are only ever really two layers to our experience, and that's what I would like to speak to today. So on the one layer, it is the ever-changing details of our lives. Every moment is made up of a variety of sense perceptions, sensations arising in the body, thoughts and interpretations, feelings, energies. And our usual tendency is to engage with all of these details. And not only to just engage, but also to try to manipulate these details, to try to change the details, which of course keeps us hooked into the details. So that's why we, for the most part, we are enmeshed really with the moment-to-moment details that are coming and going in our lives. Certain details we push away, we reject, we contract against, we resist. And other details we can tend to grasp at, to cling to. Either way, though, a beautiful symbol for that, or a beautiful reminder that that's what we're doing, is a contraction in the body. The body tends to feel more contracted when it is engaging with the details of the moment and really on a very basic level trying to change things and control things. And all of that is fine. That's what we do as human beings. We've been conditioned to believe that certain things are better than others, that things have to go a particular way. So we can just consider that that is just an expression of our humanity. The other layer of our experience is essentially unchanging. So throughout the multitude of moments that we've had, there is something here like a golden thread that has been running through, that has been the same for our entire life. Some have called it presence or spirit. You could call it awareness. And pure awareness is not concerned about the details. It's this spacious light that holds everything, just as the ocean holds every single drop. And so you could say that meditation is meant to shift us from a focus on the ever-changing details to that which is unchanging, that which is eternal, you could say, that which is ageless, genderless. It has no status or degrees or illnesses or any kind of identification with any particular role. And it is our true nature. So again, I want to emphasize there's nothing wrong with playing roles, with identifying with being a female or a male or whatever it is that we do or in our work and whatnot. But to recognize that that is not who we are. Our true nature is moving through us as we take on those roles and play those parts in this particular lifetime. An image that works for some people is to think about the sky and the clouds that exist within the sky. So the clouds are constantly changing, moving, appearing and disappearing. And you could say that is similar to the details of our lives. They kind of appear and disappear all on their own. And yet the sky in which these clouds are appearing is always the same. So all of the details of our life are appearing within presence, within awareness, within the light of our being. So how do we access that presence, that awareness, that light? We let go of engaging with the details. We let everything be exactly as it is. And that is a practice. Because there's so much conditioning, of course, around wanting to manipulate things. But the practice is to practice letting go of trying to control anything. Everything is allowed to appear and disappear and be exactly as it is. Everything has a right to exist exactly as it is. So in this moment, let's see if we can experience this for ourselves. I invite you to bring your awareness to your right hand. So as you hear that, it's almost like there's this satellite dish that kind of goes doot, 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 and turns towards the right hand. You can sort of feel it happening. Maybe it kind of lives in your head. Sometimes for some people, it's sort of behind your head. But as I invite you to bring awareness to your right hand, something kind of gathers itself together and it shines its light on the right hand. And as you do that, you'll probably notice that the details of your right hand become that much more distinct. You really notice the fingers and perhaps the energy or the fullness of that hand, its presence wherever it's resting. And it almost, you could say, becomes a little bit bigger than your left hand. And that's the power of awareness. Okay, so then I invite you to bring your awareness to your left foot. So that same satellite dish kind of pulls away and then it turns down towards the left foot. And so now the awareness is in the left foot and a whole different set of sensations there. Similar but different. So you might notice as you bring awareness there that there is soft tissue. There's also a sense of the hardness of the bones, of the arch of the foot, of the ankle. So details that were not available to you moments ago are now magnified. And now I invite you to bring your awareness to your heart. So there goes awareness pulling away from the left foot, and it turns itself towards the center of the chest. And now those sensations and that experience and that feeling is sort of center stage, you could say. So everything we've experienced in the right hand, the left foot, and in the heart is different, you could say. Different sensations, different feelings, different experiences. But the one thing that stays the same in all of those is that which is aware, that which is noticing the right hand, the left foot, and the heart is the same. The presence that notices, that opens to the experience of these three different areas of the body is the same. And as soon as you allow what you're noticing to be just exactly as it is, there's just a natural tendency to fall into presence because it's always here. We just don't notice it because we're so engaged. We've got like claws in the details of the moment, and we're constantly trying to rearrange them like pieces in a jigsaw puzzle. But when we allow things to be, the claws open and we settle back, and there it is, there's presence, there's this spaciousness. And we can even allow our resistance of what is here right now. So it's constantly taking that backward step and allowing that too. So this isn't an exercise in trying to perfect, allowing everything to be as it is. It's an exercise in noticing how there are intricate details to that. And every layer that shows up is an opportunity to allow that too. So maybe you got distracted. Notice what's noticing the distraction. Especially when you don't judge the distraction. There's this kind of kindness towards all of the details that arise, and an even viewing them as just sacred components of your moment-to-moment experience. Everything has a right to be. And at the same time, we can orient towards spacious presence. Just as when we look at a sky, we can orient towards the blueness behind the clouds, or we can orient towards the actual shape of clouds and whatnot. So in every moment, and usually it just takes a little bit of slowing down and a little bit of softening. And then this experience of greater space within our being can show up. And you want to orient towards that. You want to let your being be pulled into that. And it's a very restful place to be, at the very least, because the energy that is used up, the life force that is used up in our constant micromanagement is tremendous. And so at the very, very least, just letting that all go for a little while is very restful for the nervous system, for the mind, for the body, for the organs. And there's some beautiful clues that we are leaning into presence as opposed to micromanaging the details. One is that we begin to feel more relaxed. We begin to feel more settled and grounded. Another is that there feels to be more space inside of our being and less conflict, you could say, less division, a sense of connectivity and harmony. And that feels good. You may also notice that some familiar gripping in the gut or in the heart or the throat lets go as well, or softens a little bit. And so enjoy that. And for the remainder of our time together, we are going to continue to allow the details of our moment to come and go. to allow them the right to exist, and to orient towards simply noticing what's noticing, and enjoying that state of presence that is building within each one of us and within our group.